These delicious chewy granola bars are perfect as a quick breakfast, a lunchbox treat, or a midnight snack. They only need a handful of ingredients and are much better than anything you could buy in a store. Welcome back to my kitchen, or if you're new here, my name is Stephanie, and this is Ginger Snap Kitchen. The first thing I did was preheat my oven to 350 degrees. Then I lined my 13 by 9 inch baking pan with foil in both directions. I gave it a light spray with cooking spray, then I set it aside. Next, I added 1.5 cups of walnuts to my food processor, and I pulsed them a few times until they were finely chopped. I transfer them to a large rimmed baking sheet. Then I added 2.5 cups of old-fashioned oats and 1 cup of sunflower seeds. Then I placed them in the oven until they were lightly browned, which took about 12 minutes. Be sure to watch them carefully to make sure they don't burn. Next, to my unwashed food processor, I added 1 cup of dried apricots, 1 cup of packed brown sugar, and half a teaspoon of salt. Then I processed them together for about 15 seconds until the apricots were finely ground, as you can see here. Then I turned the machine back on, and while it was running, I added half a cup of liquefied coconut oil, followed by 3 tablespoons of water. Then I continued to process it for about 1 minute until it became a uniform paste. After that, I transferred the paste to a large mixing bowl. Then I set it aside. I removed the walnut and oat mixture from the oven and reduced the oven to 300 degrees. I was disappointed to see some of my walnuts were a bit too brown, so I removed them from the pan. Then I transferred the toasted items to the mixing bowl with the apricot paste. I stirred them together until they were well coated. Then I added 1.5 cups of crispy rice cereal and 1 cup of dried cranberries. Don't be tempted to add chocolate chips to this recipe. They will melt. I stirred them together gently until everything was evenly mixed. Then I transferred the mixture to my prepared pan and spread it into an even layer. I placed a sheet of wax paper on top and pressed it very firmly with my hands, especially around the edges and the corners. Then I placed it in the 300-degree oven for about 25 minutes until it began to brown around the edges. You better believe I kept my eye on it to make sure it didn't burn. I allowed it to cool in the pan on a wire rack for about an hour. Then I lifted it out of the pan using the foil, and I returned it to the wire rack for another hour to cool completely. Here's what I was listening to while I worked. Once it was completely cool, I transferred it to a cutting board. Next, I added 8 ounces of chocolate chips and 1.5 teaspoons of coconut oil to a measuring cup, and I melted it in the microwave. I transferred the liquid chocolate to a sandwich bag, cut off a tiny corner, and covered the entire surface with chocolate drizzle. Once I was finished applying the chocolate, I allowed it to set for about 15 minutes. Then it was ready to cut into bars. I first cut the slab in half crosswise. Then I cut each half in half to make strips. Then I cut each of the strips into 6 bars. Take a look at that. These are every bit as delicious as they look. Leftovers can be stored at room temperature in an airtight container for up to 3 weeks. But if you've got kids, I doubt they'll last that long. I hope you'll give these a try, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Thanks for watching.